What's up, guys? Back for a video. First one in several months, I believe. Been a long time. Uh, just kind of decided to make a video. I've had a few PSA orders come back recently. Went to a card show 2 weekends ago. So figured just make one video and show some of my recent pickups. Real quick, as you can see, the background has changed slightly. I'm just in a separate room, so I'm normally in this room right here, but now you can see a little bit more of the background. So as you can see, I have a Jamal Charles signed jersey. I won that in a fantasy league years and years ago, whenever NFL used to do prize leagues. And then this I got very recently. I just got a pretty big promotion at work, and I kind of got that to celebrate. Kind of fits in with the channel, obviously. You can't see the autographs real well from here, but it is signed by the three guys. So I absolutely love that so much. I love it so much. So start off real quick with recent cards I've gotten back from PSA. So a month or two ago, they had a jumbo sized special for like really big cards. So I just sent them two. The first one, this glare's bad. So this is a rookie card for Frank Robinson, if you want to call it that. It's a 1957 Sohio, and it's just a black and white photo. So really, really cool. It says authentic altered. There is it is kind of diamond cut. Can't really see it too much from this angle, but you can see it a little bit at the bottom. There's like a beginning of another picture. Blank back. Had tape. This was taped in the album. When I got it, I got the full album, so I actually have every picture of the Reds players. I got a great deal. Got a great deal on it. Bought it probably close to a year ago. So got that one, and then the second one I sent in also came back altered. I don't know how this one got altered, but this one's just the Topps pinups, and this is the Willie Mays. It's not in great shape, but Willie Mays is, in my opinion, the best baseball player who ever lived. So I love getting his stuff, as you will see in this PSA order. So months ago, I went to a card show and got a few raw Willie Mays cards, poor condition, all of them. Well, I decided to get them graded because they had a 1960s special just recently. So I sent the 1960s Willie Mays cards that I had off, and then they did a 50s one. That one is currently still at PSA, but I averaged about $12 per card raw, and then the grading fee was $15. So I don't feel bad at all, even though they all came back once. They at least got graded. So first one I have here is the 1960 Willie Mays. Sorry about the glare, guys. You know, it's got creases, but decently centered. Back looks pretty good. Next up, got the 1961. Again, all these Mays, they came back ones for good reason. Nothing surprising. Next up, I actually have this card in a 2 already. However, this looked really good. This one looked pretty good for a 1. There is some creasing on the front, as you can see in the right kind of light. But this card doesn't grade too well anyway. It's the number 1 card, so those are always pretty tough. And then the last one of the Mays, got the 67. This one was probably the roughest looking. But again, I'm in it for, you know, a little over 25 bucks. I'll take that. I'll take a PSA graded Willie Mays Playing Days card. Next up, I threw this card just to meet the minimum, I believe. I've been buying quite a few of his cards recently. It's a 1968 Dick Allen. I thought it would grade better than a 4, but oh well, it happens. I thought it looked really good. I thought it would get a 6. It didn't, but yeah, anyway. Next up, this card. You know what? I'll save that for last of the PSA order. Next, I actually got into some Topps Venezuelan cards. The first one, I believe I showed raw on the channel. These are all 1964s, by the way. But I thought I did very well on them. So the first one, this is a Eddie Matthews, and it got a 1, mostly because of that paper loss there on the front. But Topps Venezuela cards, typically their backs are rough because they're pasted in albums. Maybe they didn't do that in 1964, I'm not too sure, because all 3 of these have pretty good backs. So there's the Eddie Matthews. Next up, this is a guy I got because I'm an Astros fan. I'm not sure how well known he is outside of Houston. This is a Jimmy Wynn. This is his rookie card, and it came back a 2.5. Looks really good on the front, and yeah, the back looks pretty good too. Very happy with this. He's not a Hall of Famer. His stats are pretty good considering back then the Astros or the Colt 45s played in a very non-hitter friendly park. I want to say I saw a stat a while back that said that he would have hit a ton of home runs if he wasn't in that ballpark. And then the last of the Topps Venezuela cards. This one, I could not believe how cheap I got this card. And then of course, the population on these Venezuelas they're so rare. But here's another rookie. And here is Dick Allen. This did get a 1. I want to say the pop for this card is under 20. I do think eventually he does get into the Hall of Fame. I am currently reading a book about Dick Allen. I actually have it right here. Called Crash. I'm literally just starting it. But pretty interesting story with him. So have that. And then this one, my wife actually went to an antique store here locally, and she FaceTimed me when she found the card section, and I spotted a card and asked her to take a look at the price. I believe they had it marked for 60. I was able to get it for 50 raw, and then I just had to get it graded. So here is the 1968. Ugh, glare on this is bad. Came back a 2. Looks really good for a 2, if I'm honest. I think it's this bottom left corner by bench. I think there's a crease there, if I'm not mistaken. The back centering is off, but honestly, who cares? The front looks great to me for a 2, so glad to have that in my collection. I didn't think I'd be getting this, but my wife actually found it, so shout out to her. And then the last 2 in this PSA order are 2 bigger, larger cards. They're both from 1969 Topps Basketball. I bought these cards raw a long time ago, and I just really liked the look of them. So here's Hal Greer. He is a Hall of Famer, but pretty cool card there. I don't know what it is about basketball. I don't like any basketball sets hardly, except the larger ones. You know, between these and the Icy Bear cards, I don't know what it is. Then the last one here is Lou Hudson. This got a 7. I believe this is his rookie card, and he just recently got into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Thankfully, I bought this card before he was inducted. I've had these cards for a long time. And this was pennies. I mean, this is probably a $3 card when I bought it. And nice to have it graded. A 7's pretty good. Pretty good. Now, lastly, I just have 3 cards here. Went to a card show a couple weekends ago, and didn't get many cards. Honestly, I went in with a chunk of cash, and I wanted a big card out of it. I'll show that one last. I ended up buying the big card first, and then with the leftover money, I ended up finding a vintage dealer and was looking at his stuff, and he had a 1971 Willie Mays in a 4. So add this on to my my Willie Mays collection I've got going. Looked pretty good for a 4. I think I ended up getting this for $60, which is basically right in line with comps. But the real fun started when he had a dice game, kind of gambling thing set up, where if you pay $10, you roll 4 dice, and depending on your thing, he had cards set up in like a tier system. In his top tier, the only way you could get it is if you rolled 4 6s or 4 4s. And I was like, what the heck, you know. The cards that were on the bottom tier were, for $10, they weren't bad. Like, they were $10 cards, I thought. So I figured I'd give it a roll, And sure enough, I got all ones first, with the $10. So I got a card off the top rung, and the one I decided on was the Carl Yastrzemski rookie card. This is in a 2.5. Looks great. It's probably, I don't know, 100, maybe a little over $100 card, something around there, and got it for $10. So cannot be mad about that. And then, last but not least, the big card that I got there. There's a dealer that I see at every local card show that I've been to here in Houston or Houston area, and he's always had multiple of this particular card. And when I saw this one, I finally pulled the trigger on buying it. And that is the 1941 play ball Jimmy Fox. And this is in a 2. And holy cow, does this card look good for a 2. Looks fantastic to me. So I think the final price I paid on this was $360, I believe was the price. Most I've ever spent on a card by far. I think the most I've spent on a card prior was the Musial Red Heart, and I think that was, if I'm remembering correctly, it was around $220 to $230, I think. So this is a big card for me, and just every time I look at it, the colors, the image, it's just a great looking card. I've always had something about Jimmy Fox intrigues me. Basically that he was like the next Babe Ruth in his time. And if you've ever watched the movie League of Their Own with Tom Hanks, I think his character was based off of Jimmy Fox. So just really cool. So yeah, that's all I have for y'all today. We'll probably be making more videos in the future. I do need to get caught up on my list of. I do have cards that I have knocked off my list in the time I've been off YouTube, so I'll need to catch up with that. But till next time, guys, y'all take it easy.